Before there were answers, there were stories. And before they were written down, they were spoken aloud, in places like the Agora. These were not myths meant to entertain, but questions meant to endure. Welcome to Echoes of the Agora. We all think we know the story of Pandora's box, a forbidden container, a moment of curiosity, and a world forever changed by what escaped. It is often told as a warning, a lesson about disobedience, temptation, or curiosity. But the ancient Greeks were not interested in simple morals, because the most unsettling part of this myth is not what Pandora released into the world, it is what she did not. The story begins not with Pandora, but with Prometheus. Prometheus was a titan, older than the gods of Olympus, and unlike them, he cared deeply for humanity. When Zeus claimed fire for the gods alone, Prometheus defied him. He stole fire from Olympus and gave it to humans. Fire was not just warmth, it was knowledge, craft, the ability to shape the world instead of merely surviving within it. Zeus was furious, but the king of the gods did not respond with destruction, he responded with precision. Zeus decided that humanity needed a gift, one that would look beautiful, harmless, even generous. The gods came together and created Pandora. She was not a child, not a monster, not a trick hidden in plain sight. She was a fully formed woman, gifted with intelligence, grace, persuasion, and curiosity. Each god gave her something, and Zeus gave her one final thing, a sealed jar, a pythos, and a single command: never open it. Pandora was sent to live among humans, carrying the jar with her. For a time, nothing happened. But curiosity is not a flaw in this story. It is the point. The jar was never meant to remain closed forever. Inside were not demons or creatures, but conditions of existence itself. Sickness, suffering, toil, old age, despair. When Pandora lifted the lid, these forces spread into the world, altering the human condition forever. Pain entered history. Mortality became unavoidable. Life became struggle. Horrified by what she had done, Pandora slammed the lid shut. Too late to stop what had escaped, but not too late to trap what remained. At the very bottom of the jar was one final thing: Elpis, hope. This is where the myth becomes deeply unsettling, because the ancient Greeks could not agree on whether hope was a blessing or a curse. One interpretation says hope was left behind to comfort humanity, a small mercy, a light in the darkness. If suffering was now unavoidable, at least humans would have something to endure it with. But there is another interpretation, a darker one. In this reading, hope is not a gift. It is the most dangerous thing in the jar, because hope does not remove suffering. It delays action. It keeps people waiting, enduring pain today for the promise of a better tomorrow that may never arrive. Hope makes hardship tolerable. It makes injustice survivable. It convinces people to endure what they might otherwise resist. The philosopher Nietzsche once wrote that hope is the worst of evils because it prolongs the torment of man. The Greeks may have arrived at that idea thousands of years earlier. If hope had escaped the jar, humans might have burned through it quickly. But because it was trapped, it remained eternal, always present, always just out of reach. So the question the myth leaves us with is not whether Pandora was wrong to open the jar. The jar was always going to be opened. The real question is this: was Zeus merciful, or was he exact? Did he leave hope behind to help humanity survive? Or did he ensure that humans would always endure suffering rather than escape it? Pandora's box is not a story about curiosity. It is a story about the human condition, about why we suffer and why we continue, about the strange power of believing that tomorrow will be better, even when today never is. And that is why this ancient myth still echoes, because the jar was never really closed, and hope, whether blessing or curse, is still with us. The ancient world is silent now, but its questions remain. If this story stayed with you, there are more waiting. Until next time, listen closely. The echoes never faded.